What's up? What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into another week, another dollar. As I am here with my best friend. Well, not my best friend. Dave's my best friend, but
Wow.
the best man,
I was
as he
about to
was
say
this
that.
weekend,
I
Jake
was gonna
Neverman.
say.
Jake, how you doing? I threw you off there
That
a
was
little bit.
what was that intro?
I don't
What?
know. I don't know. It's been a while.
Another day,
Another
another
day, another
dollar.
dollar, man. You're not making that money. You got to make that
Uh,
money. If you don't
yeah,
have dollar signs in the eyes, then you're losing out, right?
money
Right?
does mean everything. Yeah,
Money
you're not
moves the
wrong.
world. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, like, and also since we're not doing the daily shows anymore,
Yeah.
I feel like my craft is like getting lost a little bit. Since like
Well, Ricky,
we're planning more videos, we're doing more like I'm not doing it every day, so like that skill is being unused.
don't worry.
Jacob.
NBA season's back soon. You know that's when content starts pumping.
Oh,
So
I can't wait. And NBA draft is gonna be coming back. Like, oh,
yeah.
like I am tingling
Woohoo.
for NBA.
I'm
Tingling.
already tired every day. Can't wait for more. I can't
College
wait for more.
basketball too, on top of
Oh yeah, you got that. You got the college
and then
basketball.
and then you got Spider. He's sports betting. What you mean? Another day,
Uh,
another dollar.
Unless it's
Made some
about Buddy
money today.
Boeheim. Oh
Made some
yeah,
money
unless
today.
I said unless it's about Buddy Boeheim, I'm out in college basketball. But Buddy Boeheim, I talk to you all
Buddy
day about
Boeheim
Buddy
and then
Boeheim.
little Boeheim, right? The Boeheim
I
brothers are
think,
together,
yeah, Jimmy and
right?
Buddy. I don't know who's older and who's younger.
Right. I think Buddy's
Yeah,
older,
yeah,
isn't he?
yeah. Maybe I don't
I
know.
mean, Buddy's the better
Sure.
player, that's for sure.
Well,
But
yeah.
we're here talking NFL like we do each and every
Oh, look
week.
at that.
Sometimes it's on a Monday. Today it's on a Tuesday, so we get the Monday night game thrown
Sorry.
in. Before we get into everything, Jake, got to give the housekeeping out of the way. 1, 2, 3. Number one, if you want to join the greatest community in the universe, go ahead and join the MVP Discord. That is down below where Jake is pointing. Also down below is how you can support us. You can either check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/MVP vids, or you can become a channel member today. And last but not least is what? Hit that
What was
subscribe
that?
button, right? Is that usually the last one? Hit that subscribe button so you always
Hit that-
stay tuned to what
actually,
is coming on here at
Hit that subscribe
MVP.
button and also hit that bell so you get notified every time
Hit
that
the
we go
bell,
live.
the notification
Notificated.
bell.
Notificated.
As I call it, the notification bell. But make sure hit all that stuff down below as you always do. Do I do the normal YouTube thing of smash that like button, bro? You got to
like
Sean
button.
Mays that like button, bro.
If we get 69 likes, Ricky will shave his head.
I
Go.
want the like button to get smashed so hard that you get fined for targeting. That's what I want. That's
Or
how
that you-
hard
I
I
need
want
to-
that like button
listen.
hit.
I want you to hit that like button, stand up, do a little dance so you get a taunting flag on you because the dumbest rule in football.
Get that taunting flag out. But Jake, we got some games to talk about, and let's start with the first one every week that we take a look at, and that is the Thursday night game. This was actually, I will say, I made fun of the Thursday night schedule last week, said that like, oh, the next like 5 weeks, there's not even a single good game. I think this Thursday is Panthers Texans, which might be better than I thought with how the Panthers have been doing. But the Washington football team got a win, Jake. They get a 1-point win because the Giants kept kicking themselves in the nuts.
I like the amount of incompetence watching that game that I felt was just watching Aaron Heineke and Daniel Jones battle it out offensively as the quarterbacks. Honestly, like it was a good game. It was just so painful to watch. Like I don't have words to describe that game. Like, yeah, the football team won, but I don't think either team actually won this game.
No.
Like, the Giants, like, how do you jump off sides on a 50-yard field goal, was it? It was something like that.
Enough. Like I will
Close
be
to-
honest, I was excited because I had 2 parlays on this game.
Oh, yeah,
And
here we go.
right after the Giants scored the touchdown to go up by 2 with 2 minutes left, I put down either a $10 or $15 bet, like a bet to where if it hits, I cover my money for the day. So when that penalty got, I was like, I went from, oh, fuck this, to, oh my God, let's go. We're going to win. Auburn's going to win a football game.
Football game. Auburn's going to win a football game.
But like,
Oh, my gosh.
this to me is, I think that you're right. Neither team won this game.
Yeah.
And I think if more of these start happening for the Giants, it turns into is it time for yet another coaching change? Another coaching change, which leads to
I
another quarterback change.
there's a lot of changes that need to happen in New York.
Saquon doesn't look like himself, but I know he's coming off of that injury from last year.
Well, Saquon's a bust, a an all or nothing running back. That's what he is. He's
I
an
thought
all
you
or
were gonna
nothing
call him
running
a
back.
bust
No,
because
I didn't mean to call him a bust. An all or nothing running back, like a bust or boom. That's what I meant to
boom
say.
or bust.
Type of run back. Like he's not a guy who's going to go get 6-7 yards consistently.
43-yard kick, by the way, to win the game.
He's either going to be in it. So it was 48, and then they jumped off sides.
Yeah. Yep.
So like, Saquon is that kind of guy who's going to either get you 40 yards or get you 2 yards. Like he's not really much an in between runner.
Yeah.
And how putrid this offensive line is, and how inconsistent the play is out of Daniel Jones, and Joe Judge makes some very questionable calls. Jason Garrett's their offensive coordinator. Like the Giants are just a mess.
I forgot Jason Garrett's our offensive coordinator.
Explains a lot, doesn't it?
Jesus. Let's take a move though. We'll go into the Sunday games, and the first one mainly because it pops up number one on our ESPN because they're listed as one of our favorite teams. Bears getting the win. I did not think that the Bears had it in them to get a win over Joe Burrow's Chase and the Cincinnati Bengals.
All I had to do is Andy Dalton had to get hurt, and the better quarterback had to play, even though he wasn't that good when he played. He just, again, like, it looked like the Bears were running away with it after some of the interceptions that Joe Burrow threw. Mm-hmm. And then they just inched their way. It was a game of just constant mistakes. Like, again, we talked about the last game. I don't think either team won the game. I feel the same way about this game. Mm-hmm. Like, it was a horror show of football. I genuinely don't know how to explain it further than that. Because, like, it was just turnover after turnover, mistake after mistake, and the Bears just hung on. Like, they was not convincing at all.
Well, like, this was the game to me where it's kind of like what Dave and I were talking about while the game was going on, where Andy Dalton gets injured. And now it's like, for the Bengals, this type of game doesn't really hurt you. Like, you're not expecting to win a lot of games. The Bears were expected to win, even though it was like a -3.5 line for them that went down to -1.5 by kickoff. You weren't even expected to win the game. So, like, Bengal fans can look at this and go, hey, it's a win. We didn't play our best football, but we made it a close game. We could have won it at the end. We're going to move on to next week. Where the Bears, I feel like the big question is, and it's going to be the question on Chicago Sports Radio all week, and Dave and I were talking about this, is should they just pull the trigger on Fields? Like, I know that, like, I would have liked it better if Fields came in and was just, like, commanding to where there was no case. Like, there was no argument. Okay, we need to make this move. Like Air Bear did last year. But, like, I almost feel like it's what Dave said. It sucks that Bears fans have to hope and pray that Andy Dalton gets injured just so Fields can start a football game.
Ricky, what did I say prior to the season?
What
week did I say?
Week 3.
Week 3, baby. This is the week. You need to listen. Most likely, Dalton's going to be out this week. Mm-hmm. I think, like, most likely. Yeah. If he's out, Justin Fields needs to go out there and play the best damn game of his career, because he needs to make sure, just like Justin Herbert did last year, there's no doubt in who should be the starting quarterback. Because if there is even a little bit, Matt Nagy and his promise that he promised Andy Dalton the starting job, like, it'll come back to haunt you. That press conference on Monday was a horror show for the Bears.
Yeah.
It's a whole, again, you talk about organizations that are a mess, it's the Bears. Like, and we talked about this in the Discord, and I think we talked about it on the prior shows, that I just don't feel like Nagy and Pace feel like their jobs are under threat. Because if they did, I feel like Fields would be starting at quarterback, because he gives them at least a spark or a better chance to win. I think that they've been told, or they know that they're so close with ownership that they're not going to get fired, that they're willing to wait out this
field. They can do things without having any worry.
Exactly.
There's no repercussions for any decision I make.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, like, for Bears fans, you just got to sit there and go, yeah, it sucks. Because, like I said, when we did our predictions, why did I have the Bears at 5-6 wins, Jake?
Yeah.
Because I didn't think Justin Fields was going to start until after, start consistently until after the bye week.
I'm pretty sure their schedule gets rough at the end, too, I'm pretty sure. So, they need to make the change now. I think, again, we screamed it from the rooftops in the preseason and the draft about Justin Fields. Like, it's just so obvious. And like, I don't, I will say, not a rant, but like a mini
Mhm.
rant that I don't like in the NFL that since Patrick Mahomes sat for a year, it'll work,
Yeah,
right?
then all
It'll work.
quarterbacks need to do that.
Or Aaron Rodgers did it. It'll work. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, no, those are two generational
Well, I
quarterbacks.
mean,
Like,
look at even the guys they had in front of them, Brett Favre and Alex Smith. There was
yeah,
no way those guys were going to be starting over those two coming
yeah.
in.
And Patrick Mahomes did in his second year, and look what happened. They went to
Yeah.
a Super
I
Bowl.
mean, like I'm
Like,
not saying that he
or no, they
was
didn't in
like
the
he
first.
shouldn't have, but like coming in there was no like when they were drafted, no one was calling for those two to start over the
Yeah,
predicated starter.
yeah,
Like
I
it was
agree.
just
Yeah.
they had someone better in front of them so they could
But
sit a
this is Andy
year.
fucking Dalton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Andy Dalton is past his prime. Andy Dalton. This was
Andy
Bengals
Dalton,
Andy Dalton. Then maybe you have an argument.
Andy Dalton was a slightly above average quarterback in his prime, and now he's past his
He
prime, and
was a
he's.
solid starter. To
I
say
said
the
slightly
least.
above
Yeah,
average.
I
I
know,
said
but
slightly
like
above average.
he's a solid enough starter to where a rookie wouldn't have dethroned him in his prime.
Well, I mean, hey, he didn't win a playoff game in his entire
No,
Bengal
well,
career.
that's the Bengals. Bengals can't win playoff games.
Marvin Lewis can't
That's
win
what they
playoff
do.
games. Come on.
The next game, I have one question for you, Jake. As the Browns beat the Texans 31-21. The question that's been going around on Twitter all week so far is Tyrod Taylor the worst luck quarterback in the NFL?
Yes.
We're
No,
basically like
history.
what punctured one last year, loses the job the year before, gets injured. Like now it's like you got to get getting injured. He's on injured reserve. Deshaun Watson still not going to start for the Texans. I think
Davis Mills, baby.
Mills
Davis
will be
Mills,
the,
baby.
quarterback against the Panthers.
Loved him in the
this
draft.
Thursday. This was a game to me where I will say this: I am surprised how well the Texans have been playing because in this game, week one they played Jacksonville. All right, you played Jacksonville. Jacksonville stinks. But like this week you played the Browns, who are a better team, and you kind of hung with them and had the lead at one point.
Yeah, but there's one play that describes the incompetency of
Uh-huh.
the Houston Texans. It's when you have an offsides penalty, and if you decline it, it's 4th and 2, and you're on offense. And if you take it, it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah.
You know what the Texans did, Ricky? They declined the penalty and punted the ball.
Mm-hmm.
What? What?
I don't know what to tell you.
What? That is like that sums up this game. Like,
yeah. Let's
the
give
Browns
the
are
ball
gonna
back
Brown.
to Baker Mayfield in this offense.
Yeah, the Browns are going to Brown. Jarvis Landry's now on the IR.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, baby Odell's back this year. I had a lot of confidence in the Browns.
Nick Chubb looks
Okay.
good though. Nick Chubb
Chubb and-
looks really good.
Yeah, but Chubb and Hunt look good. We knew they were good.
Yeah.
They need their receivers to stay healthy, and they need Baker not to make his boneheaded decisions, and they still can win the division. It's just like, it's such a frustrating team to watch because all the talent is there. They just are the Browns.
This, I will say, after 2 weeks, this division is going to be the most interesting division to watch in football. Mainly because the Ravens, after 2 weeks, can still win the division, obviously. Like, I'm looking talent-wise, eye test-wise, not win-loss-wise. Like, the Ravens and the Browns should be the front runners. The Steelers have the talent. I think they just had a bad week 2. Like,
Do they, Ricky?
better week 1,
Do
bad
they?
week 2. Or they just ran into a better team. We'll get into that. And then you have the Bengals, who I don't think the Bengals are going to be anywhere near the division title.
I still think the NFC South, the most interesting to watch, especially with the Panthers now. But we'll get into that when we talk about that.
Oh, you said NFC South.
NFC South, yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant. I thought you were talking AFC South with one of the teams that I guess we'll talk about next. This was a very good game to watch if you did watch it early on. Rams Colts. Matthew Stafford to me.
Oh,
this is like the Rams may be a team to where it's like, okay, that NFC West, I cannot wait to see how things unfold. Because
do you remember my predictions, Ricky?
Seahawks
do you
look good.
remember?
Like all
do you
the
remember my
teams
predictions?
Mm-hmm.
They're all like 11 plus wins. I'm just like, first of all,
Cooper Kupp's like, finally, someone who can throw the ball deep to me,
holy
baby.
shit, I can catch the ball again.
I had 2 touchdowns in this game.
And he had 2 touchdowns last week too.
Yeah.
Or he had a bunch of like Carson Wentz. I don't like to rain on the parade of the Colts, but me having them with 3 wins in our predictions, and now they're 0-2.
Yeah,
Pat McAfee on his show.
I had them a little higher.
Pat McAfee adequately described
Mhm.
Carson Wentz as a maniac with no self-regard for his body
Oh.
whenever he plays football. He said somebody needs to stop him and tell him that's Aaron fucking Donald.
Yeah.
Like, also, quick side note,
Mhm.
a thing that really fucked with my brain is that Aaron Donald and Trey Young are the same height.
Yeah. Yeah, Aaron Donald's not that tall.
Julio Jones and Steph Curry are the same height. The NBA is just full of freaks. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, like the Colts are just such a mad team. Pittman looked
Mhm.
really good this game, which is very
No, he
encouraging
did.
for them. But Wentz spraining both of his ankles.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
You
Like
have a body of glass. Like
literally,
that's the only
literally.
bad thing about Carson Wentz in his career is he seems to have a body of glass.
It's the only thing in this game is that I have to say is that the Rams look very good and exactly what we expected with them when they
Mhm.
got Matthew Stafford. Now we need to see over the course of the years, does McVay overcomplicate things with this offense? Because how it's set right now, it looks
Or
great.
can Matthew Stafford keep up with the overcomplications that Jared Goff
Exactly.
couldn't?
It's gonna see. That's what we're gonna see if
Mhm.
McVay, the offensive guru that he is and he claims to be, is it overboard at some point or like you know what I mean? I like at some point it's too much. It's too
Mhm.
much offensive like guru-ness
Yeah.
that he projects sometimes, and that him blaming Jared Goff for everything. It's just like the Rams are very good, and we talked
Mhm.
about them being a dark horse to make the Super Bowl in our
Well, I
preview
mean,
show.
I'll
So
tell you this. You mentioned Super Bowl. Their next 3 games, Jake, are going to be hard game. I'll just be as blunt as possible. They're going to be hard. You've got Tampa Bay. Only good thing is you get them at home.
up.
You got the Cardinals. Good thing you're getting them in LA. And then you have to go to Seattle to see the 12th man. So Bucks, Cardinals, Seahawks,
They
all
win
in
two
your
out of
next
three.
3.
They win 2 out of 3 in that. Good
Yeah.
lord.
Which I will say I love their schedule because it's like, okay, we're going to give you 3 really hard teams. Then we'll give you the Giants, the Lions, and the Texans. We'll
Oh,
even things out for you.
so if they really do win if they win 2 out of 3 from
Mhm.
there, that'll be 4. They'll probably be 7-1 most
Yeah.
likely. At worst, they might drop a game and playoff and be 6-2.
Yeah.
Like they're
Where,
set up so well.
whereas the Colts, to me, next week, because they're 0-2, must win game 3. And I usually hate saying that, but
Nah.
they're playing the Titans in Tennessee.
Eh.
A Titans team that we're going to get to later got a huge win. A huge win
Yeah.
in Seattle. Like, this
Yeah.
is something where it's like, if the Colts do not win next week, season's done. I'm calling it.
My victory
I'm
lap.
calling it. I'm calling it after next week if they go
My
0-3.
victory lap. If they lose next week.
If they go 0-3, you can take the victory lap, Jake.
Okay.
That's what I
Okay.
will
Well,
say.
I don't think they'll go. They might, but it depends on if Wentz plays.
I don't know. You know what? Fuck
The
it.
problem is though, Ricky. Even if they
Mhm.
Wentz comes back and they win, the point is still going to be there that Carson Wentz just is always
Yeah,
hurt.
he's always
Every
hurt.
year. Like, and it's not like this won't be his last injury of the year if he
Mhm.
comes back. Like, it just every year it's the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say let's jump the gun, but we'll get into the afternoon games later. That's where the Titans and the Seahawks were. We'll go in order like we do. And the next game, we had the Bills get a huge win. I was a little upset because I had the over in this game and I needed basically one more touchdown. Bills or Dolphins, one of them needed to score one more. Neither of them could. But the reason the Dolphins could not and laid the goose egg, the big old goose egg in this game, Jake, is because Tua Tagovailoa gets injured. He only throws 4 passes in the game. Is this the time where Miami says, fuck it, we're done with Tua? Like, he's injured,
No.
he's out, it's Jacoby time in Miami.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. Not with how Jacoby looked after they put him in. Yeah, I don't think there's much on the Bills were clearly a better team and
Bills
they needed to
didn't
win
even
after
play.
last
Like,
week.
if you look at, like, in
No.
the game, they played good, but, like, this wasn't even the Bills' final form. The Bills could have looked better in this game.
Yeah. Well, once Tua went out there up like 28-0, they
Yeah.
kind of just relaxed. I mean, after last week, Bills not a must win, but you don't want to start the year 0-2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They were never going to lose this game, and then Tua going out. I mean, it just made it a sleeper.
Yeah. I mean, like, yet again, I was watching Red Zone, and I could not remember the amount of times they even went to this game because, like, the next game I'm putting up there, Jake, was also a sleeper in the AFC East. The Patriots and Mac Jones just running away with it. Zach Wilson, can we get him some help, New York? Can we get him any help?
I mean, like, yeah, he threw 4 interceptions. He had a very bad game. Uh, but like his offensive line is just non-existent. And
Hmm.
as Aaron Rodgers did last week, at certain times I just saw Zach Wilson just as he's throwing the ball, just mouth it, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like I'm just throwing it.
Yeah.
Like a man has no help. He
Uh-huh.
is a I don't know what words to say. Mac Jones didn't even play like he was good. Like he's what he is, and Mac Jones is a
Mac
good
Jones is a
starter.
game manager.
I'm gonna be interested to see him this week. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I'll be very
Well,
interested to see him this week.
this week, I mean, we're into it because like Bills Dolphins, I didn't have anything to say unless
No,
you
yeah,
did.
no.
This like, what do you mean by that? Like, interested to see him this week.
So they play the Saints this week.
Yep.
The Saints defense, Lattimore and CJ Gardner Johnson were most
Mhm.
likely going to be back. So that means the Saints have their top 3 corners instead of one missing. Quan will still be out, which is a huge loss. But having the 2 corners back, having a hopefully, knock on freaking wood, a healthy secondary. We'll get into the Saints later. But Mac Jones against a better defense.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to be as comfortable he has been in the last couple of weeks? Like, he's been very good game managing. And I think that's all they want out of him and all he's going to be asked to do.
I mean, all they
But
need basically.
is he going to have to stretch that role against a team that's going to be that offense next week is going to be looking for a revenge game after this past week?
I'll put it this way: when will a team really force him? Because like, yeah, I know the Patriots lost week 1, but the Dolphins aren't the hardest test they're going to get all season. The Jets, that's a throwaway game. Like,
Patriots didn't look that good in this game. Let's just say that. Like, Zach Wilson lost
they
this game for the Jets.
see, but here's the thing, and this is the thing that I feel like most of these games week 2 had of like, oh, X team didn't look good. Yeah, well, they didn't need their final form in this game.
Yeah, but then the question comes is like,
Will they be able to call on it?
Can they initiate it whenever
Yeah.
they need it? So
Yeah.
like we've seen teams do it now already, but it's week 2 of the NFL season. Mac Jones has looked okay so far. He's done what they needed him to do. I'll be interested to see when he needs to take over a game if he is capable of doing that on a consistent basis.
So I'm going to ask you right now, big money question, Jake. I'm
Oh,
looking it up on FanDuel right now. The under for this game is 41.5 as of Tuesday at 7:40 p.m. Central Time. Because of the defenses in this game, would you hammer the under 41.5?
It's so hard.
It's about a
'cause
20. That's like a 21-21 game breaks that over under.
It's just so hard with Jameis because you just don't know. You know what I mean? Like you're just
Will he have
genuinely
5 touchdowns or 4 interceptions?
I've genuinely never like I've had Drew Brees for 14 years. I've never just been like so mystified by a quarterback. Like
Yeah.
I just like every time I get ready for a game now, I'm just like I don't know what's gonna happen. You're like I had like my family members on Sunday who were over for brunch ask me about the game. I'm like I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm like this man could come in and
Like-
throw 7 touchdowns and throw 3 interceptions. I don't know.
Spider in the YouTube chat, bringing him in, says Pats defense better than Saints offense. Mac can take over and make a win against them. I could see that. I could see either of these teams winning.
But did
next
you see
week.
what the Saints defense did to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers?
I mean, yet again, but did you see what Aaron Rodgers did against the Detroit Lions? So was that really Aaron Rodgers week 1? I don't know. I'm gonna need another week to wait.
Yeah,
and
I know.
see.
I agree. I agree. And the Saints are gonna they vastly. Well, actually, we'll talk about it when we get to the game.
Yeah, and then Spider also says Wilson trash. What you mean? Mac Jones quarterback 2 in this.
Oh yeah,
he's
he's
making
a
a case for number 1.
No, he's not. He's a Patriots fan.
Mac
Jones ended up in the best situation. That doesn't make him the best.
I'll say this though: none of the like Trey Lance off to the side, Fields off to the side because they're not starting.
Think about it.
None of the rookies that have started yet have really like blown anyone away.
Think about the rookies. Trevor Lawrence, terrible team.
Yeah.
Like just terrible.
Terrible team. New head coach coming from college.
Fields not starting. Lance not starting. Wilson, horrendous team.
Yeah.
Mac Jones, top 5 defense, top 5 offensive line. Who do you think is going to be the best player out of them? You don't judge a quarterback off the team that he's based on. If we are, then Trent Dilfer's better than Dan Marino because he won a Super Bowl, man.
So you say that some people may go to bat for that.
Some people actually probably believe that, so I shouldn't say that.
Some people over the age of 50 might go to bat for that.
Yeah.
Dan Marino's a bum. But the next game, Jake, little NFC battle. Yet again, this game to me did not tickle my fancy. Niners get the win 17-11 over the Eagles. Niners now another NFC West team starting their season off 2-0. Here's the thing, though. Like, my biggest takeaway from this game is I am now praying for Trey Sermon and for Hardy, the running backs of the 49ers, Jermichael Hardy. I'm praying for them because it seems like God just hates 49er running backs.
Sermon get hurt?
Like, no.
Sure
It was, so week 1, Mostert got hurt. In this week, you have Mitchell got hurt. Each week,
Sure Trey Sermon got hurt too.
Did he? So that's 3 running backs. So that means we got to pray for the running backs of the 49ers because the football gods hate them.
Yeah,
the football gods hate the 49er running.
Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I think I don't even have words because the Niners just last year decimated with injuries. Like the entire team was hurt. This year it's more the same. Honestly, their running backs just keep getting hurt, and they need to start Trey Lance. I hate
Jimmy G didn't have a great game. I mean,
because he's not great. He's a game manager. He is Mac Jones. Mac Jones is Jimmy Garoppolo.
So Mac Jones is what Bill Belichick wanted in Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes. Jimmy Garoppolo is Mac Jones. Mac Jones is Jimmy Garoppolo. Like,
that's funny.
It's mind-numbing that, like, Trey Lance has the ability to be a superstar, and that team is already so good that if you want to talk about, he would be the best quarterback this year. He would probably win Rookie of the Year if he played all the games. It's infuriating. It's just like the Niners, they eked out the win. The Eagles or whatever, they were very hyped off their week 1 win.
Looked good though in a loss.
He's good again, but the team's just not good enough.
Yeah.
And now they lost. Brandon Brooks is going on the IR most likely, and Brandon Graham ruptured his Achilles, so he's done for the year. So Eagles are question mark. That whole NFC East is just a question mark, and the Niners, if they start Trey Lance, I'll enjoy it more. But Jimmy Garoppolo is just a boring watch.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, for this one, this was a game where it was kind of just on for me, like especially with me because I needed a Mitchell touchdown in that game. After that happened, I was like, well, fuck, this game's a complete loss for me at this point. The next game, though, is very, and I'm going to use my favorite word, Jake, interesting with the outcome. The Raiders just win, baby, getting the win over the Steelers. Najee Harris put a man in the ground. Put a man in the grave, Jake.
And then Derek Carr put the Steelers in the ground.
Stiff arm. I'm going to put you in the ground. Rookie being disrespectful without trying to be disrespectful. But, my big question with this is, are the Raiders for real? Two wins over the Ravens and the Steelers?
If they stay healthy.
Over AFC North teams, should we be taking a serious look at the Las Vegas Raiders?
I don't like to change my opinions off 2 weeks, so I'm not going to fully buy in yet, but Derek Carr looks tremendous.
Oh my God, I'm looking at their schedule.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
They're going to start 6-0, Jake.
Nah, they'll lose one game.
After this week, they have the Dolphins, Chargers, Bears, Broncos, Eagles, and Giants.
They could lose 1 or 2 of those games.
They're going to go 6-0 to start. And I'm going to say this. Raiders are going to be that team. Remember, every year we have that one team that goes like 6-0, 7-1, 8-1.
I think it's a different team. I think it's a different team.
They're the team that's going to be great midseason. Everyone's going to go, oh my God, they could be a Super Bowl favorite, Super Bowl darling. And then something happens midseason and boom, they don't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I did make the joke in our Discord that Ben Roethlisberger has more control over those bathroom stalls than he does about the Steelers offense. Because, that offensive line, like Steeler fans are very good at they're just used to winning because they haven't had a losing season
or
in however long.
Or shitting their pants at the stadium and then washing their pants.
Yeah. That's Pittsburgh for you, my guy. They're very good at ignoring a problem and acting like it doesn't exist. Like their offensive line got worse again this offseason. They're like, nah, it's fine. Like it's that guy who's as you're sipping, the guy in the burning building, it's just like, it's fine. Yeah. It's fine.
It's okay.
The Raiders look really good. Henry Ruggs has finally had more than 2 catches or 3 catches in a game. It was something like that the first time in his career. There's not much to say because the Steelers, again, they are what they are. I think we knew this is what they were. Their offense is just not good enough to keep up with certain teams. They rely on a good field position. The only reason they beat the Bills is because their special teams came up with a clutch play and their defense was consistently getting them good field position. So the Raiders are an interesting team. They did this without Josh Jacobs as well.
I mean, I was going to bring that up. Many people put them in the can't win. there were so many people. I know Colin Cowherd was one of them because it was part of his Blazing Five, where a lot of people were like, "Oh, Sixers minus 6.5. I really like that this
Sixers.
week." I mean Steelers minus 6.5.
It's funny enough. We were sitting outside the back in our house, and
Yeah.
my uncle, Steeler fan, was telling me like we were talking about the game, and I'm like, it's a tough game. He's like, nah, Steelers are gonna win. I'm like, nah, I don't like. As soon as Yannick Ngakoue was cleared to play, and obviously him and Nassib, I was like, the Raiders are flying under the radar, but their offense is now going up against two pretty good defenses and played well against both. So
Yep.
they're definitely a team to follow now the rest of the season.
Like I said, I cannot wait to see what the Raiders do moving on from this one. Jake, you knew we were going to have to cover it. You knew we were going to have to. I'm going to, just like we do with our teams, I'm going to give you the floor first to vent about either praise like you did last week or vent how it might be this week. Saints get the loss 26-7.
As Aaron Rodgers said on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, you can't get too high, you can't get too low during the NFL season. I don't know what else the God is going to throw at the Saints this year. We had a hurricane. Our stadium caught on fire today. We had 10 starters hurt. We were missing 8 coaches. Like, it is what it is. On the Panthers side, their defensive pass rush was great. The offensive line for the Saints has some work to do. Missing our center when they changed this year to the center calling pass protections really isn't ideal. So that'll be interesting to see how that is going forward. Darnold looked good. I wouldn't say listen, also it's infuriating that I stood up for Sam Darnold for 3 years, finally got off the train, and now he's just balling out.
So
if you want to talk about the team that's going to start 6-0 or 7-1 or something like that, I think it's the Panthers.
So I have an advice out there. I need to ask your advice and the masses' advice.
Yeah.
So in my dynasty league, going into week 1, I dropped Sam Darnold to pick up Trevor Lawrence.
You're good.
Trevor Lawrence hasn't done great, but hasn't done bad. Because I have Lawrence and Fields as my dynasty quarterbacks, do I drop one of them to pick up Darnold for this year, or do I just ride out Lawrence and Fields?
I just ride it out. Oh, I just ride it out.
Ride it out.
Okay. I just ride it out.
I've been thinking about that this week. I'm like, man, I shouldn't have fucking.
If it was a 1-year league, clearly yes. But I just, as a dynasty league, I'd hold on.
Dynasty, I'd probably be keeping both of these quarterbacks anyways, which would be 2 of my 8 every year. But like, no, the Panthers, man, I want to say this. After week 1, was not super impressed because it was like, yeah, you got the win, but it was the Jets. It was the Jets. Like, you're playing at home, Jets, week 1. Let's see how you do week 2. I don't know. After this game, I mean, yet again, maybe the Texans after that one, I'm looking at the Panthers going, Tyrod wasn't there. And
let's think about this. Week 1, they played the Jets.
Are they frauds? That's what I'm asking.
No,
they're not. Panthers team going to be frauds?
I don't want to label them frauds, but
are they Rudy Gobert in sheep's clothing or in wolf's clothing?
Sometimes Lady Luck plays on your side. Week 1, you play the Jets, whatever.
Yeah.
Week 2, you play the Saints without 10 starters
and
8 coaches. Pretty good luck.
Yeah.
Week 3, you play the Texans. Their quarterbacks, their first 2 quarterbacks aren't playing.
Yeah.
Cowboys will be a good game. I'm sure some major Cowboy player will get hurt this weekend, so the Panthers get another easy game the week after. But like, think about it. I said they could probably start 6-1, 7-1. You play the Texans, Cowboys, Eagles, Vikings, Giants, Falcons, Patriots, and then they have a streak of Cardinals, football team, Dolphins.
Let's say 6-1. So that would mean the next 4.
The last 4 weeks are tough.
Texans, Cowboys, Eagles, Vikings. All of those could be win. All of those.
I'll say the thing that's going to be their downfall is the last 4 weeks: Bills, Bucks, Saints, Bucks.
Yeah,
that is rough.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why you gotta win. You gotta win these. I don't want to say easy games, but the games that you should win early on, you got to win them. So then you're not looking for wins later against tougher opponents. Now you're looking in the NFC South. That's how it works. You get that backloaded divisional schedule where then everyone's fighting for a win.
Oh yeah, now you see how the division is going to pan out. Bucks look amazing. Panthers look good. I'm not fully sold on the offense yet, or the secondary either, but. Then you have the Saints, who are a giant question mark with Jameis. We just genuinely don't. Yeah, the Falcons, who suck. The Falcons just suck. Yeah. And then you have the Saints, Panthers, and Bucks. It's going to be an interesting division to watch because the Saints have won it 4 years in a row. I'm going to tout that as long as I can because 4 years in a row winning a division is a long
Yeah.
time. It all rested. I think this entire division rests in Jameis' hands.
Mm-hmm.
If Jameis plays like the quarterback he played like week 1, the Saints can win the division. If he plays like they did week 2, they're gonna finish in
So
third.
just put your money on Tom Brady.
No, like I don't know. The Bucks haven't looked like they've played very well and they should have won both of their games, but they look.
Yeah.
It's so annoying because they did it in the playoffs last year. Is they look beatable, like they are beatable.
They look like they have weaknesses in the armor, just no one can get to them.
Jared fucking Cook. We did release it, and then Jared Cook's like, "Here, take it back. Here, take the ball back."
Here's the game. Hey Tom,
he's gonna get mentioned every week on this show. Every week.
Oh,
Jared Cook
gets mentioned. Jake, can I just say something? 2 weeks into the season, why are y'all not listening to me? And I'm not meaning like you, but like the general public out there. Teddy Bridgewater's a good quarterback, okay? Teddy's a good quarterback. Every time I came in here,
we're Teddy fan club. Don't act like we're not.
The Broncos, like they're not going to do that good because they got Teddy Bridgewater. I'm like, yeah, but they're getting their pass rush back. They have a competent quarterback now. Guess what? Guess what? It was the Jaguars this week.
And who was week 1?
Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
And who was week 1?
But Teddy Bridgewater, here's what I want to see, though. I want to see 26-34, 300-plus yards, 2 tutties against a team like Jacksonville. Yeah. Easy 10-point win.
That's what Teddy does.
Keep it moving.
I will say, though, they play the Jets this week. Another game they should win. They should be 3-0. Ravens, Steelers, Raiders, Browns, football team, Cowboys. That stretch is rough for them. Their defense is elite, though. Surtain has looked great so far. Not shocking when the best secondary player in the draft, looks great in the NFL. I'm shocked. It's just, the Broncos have built that defense again to be elite. Bradley Chubb's just a freak. I hope he stays healthy this year.
Yeah.
Like he's already dealing with an injury. He tried to play this week, couldn't get it going. I'll be interested. Love Teddy. Everybody loves Teddy except for Panthers fans because that shows you just the fans that Panthers fans are trash. Yeah. Everybody loves Teddy. Everybody watching Teddy succeed, it makes everybody's life better, honestly.
I will say this, the AFC West, yet again, like them in the North, the two divisions for me to keep your eye on. Because did not expect the Raiders to look as good as they do. The Broncos, you do make a good point, played the Giants week 1, Jaguars week 2. Who do they have week 3 that you mentioned that was not so good?
Jets.
I blank on the Jets. So like, yes, that's a little grain of salt in the Bronco pile. The other thing I am saying no to Jacksonville fans that say this, but like, don't panic about Trevor Lawrence. Like, I know everyone wants to panic because number 1 overall pick, he should be playing better. He should be blowing us up. Exactly. Relax. He plays for Jacksonville. They're not a good team. He's not.
Urban Meyer's not a good coach.
Like Eric, did the Vikings like Bridgewater though? I liked Bridgewater. You know that? I liked Bridgewater. He would have been our quarterback if he didn't, break his leg and almost die.
High five, Ricky.
No, other way.
No, it's this way for me.
No, for me it's the other way. Wait.
Okay.
We did that very badly, but we got
Love Teddy Bridgewater.
The Vikings liked Bridgewater. The problem was our kicker Blair Walsh couldn't make a goddamn kick.
Yeah. He would have stayed. He would have stayed with us.
Seattle Seahawk game.
We wanted to keep him. He just obviously got the bag from Carolina. Like you can't blame him for going to get the money. It just is what it is.
And then like in Carolina, he just got replaced by a younger quarterback because Sam Darnold.
Well, no, they misused him.
But they chose Darnold over him, is what I'm saying. They traded for Darnold, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna let.
Still the wrong decision. We'll fight that one.
But like, I mean, the Broncos, interesting to see what they'll look like going forward. Jacksonville fans, I hate to say this because like fans are fans, and like I know me, it's like you want to win every week, you want to root for a winner, you don't want to watch a loser, but like this is not going to be your year. It's not going to be your year. Just be happy you have Trevor Lawrence. And the great
thing is that this quarterback class kind of sucks. So go and get yourself a stud defensively.
Yeah.
Like to pair with Josh Allen, who's already a freak. So it's just like patience, people. Patience.
Patience, young. It's like patience, young Padawan. Jake, the next game. Can I say something and
Oh,
ask
you're
you
gonna
a
go. Yeah, it is the
question?
Vikings. I forgot. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Before I brag, you go.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is it bad that I was watching this game and like there was a part of me that was rooting for a Viking loss because I
Tyler,
bet
baby.
against myself and went with Cardinals -3.5.
No, you know
Because I did
yourself.
not think we were gonna win this game. But when we were making that final kick, am I a bad fan when I was happy we missed it? Because I want a better draft pick. Because I'm tired of drafting in the middle to late first round, and I want a
Some
top
people.
pick to replace Kirk Cousins because
Well,
he didn't look like a bum in this game, but overall he's a bum.
quarterback class kind of sucks this year, but no, you're definitely not. Some people will disagree with me on that. Some people disagree with both of us, but I like to have my team's long-term vision instead of
Mm-hmm.
the short-term vision. Yeah, that when makes you feel great on Monday, but you know what makes you feel better is if you get a top 5 quarterback in the NFL and you go
Yeah,
and win a Super Bowl. That'll make you feel way better. Guess what? You ain't gonna do that with Kirk Cousins at quarterback.
yeah.
So, but
Unless
I think
Kellen Mond is the guy, which hey, let's find out. Let's
love
just put him
Kellen.
in, find out right now.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but I mean, sure, fuck it. Kyler Murray's second best quarterback in the NFL. I've been on the Kyler Murray train since he got
Yep.
drafted. I got a Kyler Murray jersey back there. I just don't have it. It's back there in my closet. Fucking love Kyler
Behind
Murray.
that unmade bed that was mentioned earlier in YouTube chat.
Right here. I never make my bed. If you make your bed, you are wasting productive time.
We got
in
a
the morning.
comment earlier that said make your bed.
No, you are wasting production time in your morning if you make your bed. I don't understand people who make their bed. That's just me.
You're just gonna get
Yeah,
in and mess it up anyways.
exactly. Why would I make my bed to then get in it later that night? The only time I'll make my
I
bed.
totally agree.
Actually, no. Even when I wash my sheets and everything, I
Mhm.
just throw them back. Like I just throw my comforter on the bed.
Yeah.
Why am I gonna make my bed? No. Sorry.
Yeah. But you're talking about the Cardinals. Kyler Murray. You know what else
Oh.
is really nice in this game? Being right yet again about a fucking wide receiver in the draft. When he had those passes to Rondell Moore, I was like, I told you he was a good wide receiver. I told you he should have been drafted higher than he was.
Yeah, I mean the wide receiver class is just full of studs. Waddle, Chase, and Devon Smith already all balling out. Wow, you just said it. Rondell Moore even balling out. Like
because he was a second rounder. I had him as a late first. Like
the only one
he
who's
should have been
not
a first round pick.
The only one who's not is the Giants' first round pick, who they just refuse to put into their system and refuse to use them. So Joe Judge, Jason Garrett, just a little round of applause.
Oh
for
yeah.
you,
By the way, the guy they traded up for. They traded up for fucking Tony, however you say it, from
well,
Florida.
didn't they?
Because they got the pick was from Chicago.
No, okay, yeah. Who traded? Yeah, okay.
It was the Steelers because the Bears traded up with the Steelers to get Fields, and then the Bears traded up with the Giants to get Fields.
Yeah,
and
then they took Tony.
Yeah, they traded back for him though.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, my timeline all fucked up there. But yeah, I mean, Cardinals are very good. That division stack. Kyler Murray's a beast. DeAndre Hopkins is amazing. AJ Green's great. Rondell Moore is great. JJ Watt's great. That team stays healthy. They're just scary.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at other draft stuff right now, but like, I mean, this Cardinal team, I want them to win because I want them to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I want them to be good in the NFL, and I want what you said to be true. I want that NFC West to just be a bunch of teams that are just going to beat the crap out of each other, and be like fighting for playoff time at the end. And Eric, you are right. JJ, Justin Jefferson, is not bad at wide receiver. It was a good performance by the Vikings. I just did not want to win the game at the end.
What do you want to see? Good performance with a loss.
Higher draft pick.
Good performance with a loss. Perfect. It's a win-win.
Jake's like, this is exactly what you want. Just how you do it, keep her moving, move forward.
I went through a 10-win NBA season. That's exactly what I aim for every night. What you want.
Jake, the next game, this one was not even close at the end of the day. Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting the huge 48-25 win over the Falcons. My thought process after this game, like, could you imagine being the guy that put money on Gronk to have 2 touchdowns, Evans to have 2 touchdowns, and the the Buccaneer D to have 2 touchdowns? Put any money on that, you're a millionaire today almost.
I don't have anything to say except for the Falcons should have taken Justin Fields, and I was fucking right.
Kyle Pitts looked better They gave him
Don't
more
care.
touches.
Did they win? Did they
They
win?
gave him more touches. That's what I'm like.
Did they win?
It's not going to help him win. It felt nice to see him get 5 receptions for 73 yards after that debacle I saw in week 1.
They're taking Justin Fields. And the
No,
Buccaneers are great.
They'll take a quarterback this year, brah.
So progressively, Justin Fields would be the number 1 quarterback. Mac Jones would be the number 1 quarterback in this draft class. That's how bad the draft class is.
Hey, we don't know yet. Full
we
season.
know.
Spencer Rattler could have a better end of the year than he has. Sam Howell's a bust. He's Mitch Trubisky 2.0. Don't draft him.
Don't draft any of them.
Don't draft Sam Howell. He's Mitch Trubisky 2.0, and I'm going to stand by that.
I don't know if he's Mitch Trubisky. He's just not like.
Well, he plays for North Carolina.
I know, it's such a lazy
comp.
Throw
a ball.
It's like when we see a lefty Euro and we go.
You're right. He's worse than Mitch Trubisky, so don't draft him.
Oh, wow. That's tough.
He is worse than Mitch Trubisky, and that is saying something. The biscuit, because you got to risk it for the biscuit, Jake.
Okay.
This one was just easy. Buccaneers with the win. Like, I expected them to roll over the Falcons. And, like, the Falcons, new coach, you expect this with a turnover team. Is this going to be Matt Ryan's final year?
Not probably finally with the Falcons. He'll probably find his way on another team, though.
Because I think contract-wise, he's got 1 more year. I do not think this is a contract year for him. The next game, Jake, this game infuriated me. Greg because the refs are idiots. Like, there was late in this game, it was just like, let the fucking teams play football. Let them play. I'm going to single out one terrible call. It is 17-17, late in the game. Air Bear is doing everything he can not to get sacked. He is falling backwards, and before his back hits the ground, he goes ahead and throws that ball all the way back to the line of scrimmage, to where the announcers, Tony Romo on this game, their question was, is it going to be intentional grounding? Was he out of the tackle box? Did he get it to the line? Did he throw it far enough? No. You want to know what these refs called, Jake? You know what they said? They called backwards progress. He is down. None of his body was on the ground, Jake. None of his body was on the ground. How can he be down by contact? Like, I was like, what are you doing? Like, Tony Romo, way more calmer than I, was like, yeah, it's just a bad call. That's just a bad call, Jim. That's a bad call. It's like,
it's
bad call. These refs, I'm not even mad like, they screwed the Chargers. No, they screwed us. They screwed the fans, because this game should have been better. It should have been better towards the end, and they gave the game to the Cowboys.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
Mike McCarthy shouldn't be a head coach. There, I'm done.
It wasn't a very entertaining game from the start. Neither Dak or Herbert looked very good in this game.
The ending created drama, Jake.
Tony Pollard was the standout for this game, getting over 100 yards rushing, and then Greg the Leg hitting a 50-yarder to win it. So.
Redemption story from week 1.
My fantasy team enjoyed it, even though I got my ass handed to me. There's not much to say for this game for me. I think that it was more of a bulldog fight, and the refs take the storyline of the entire game, like the NFL refs continue to do.
It's like the Penn State-Auburn game. Left me wanting because the refs are idiots. At least these refs knew what down it was.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It was not a good time when you had Auburn plus 5.5. The next game, though, overtime. You love overtime football.
It was so long.
Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans got the win in Seattle. Was not expecting it. I thought that Seahawks, I think it was -6.5. I think it was -6.5 or 5.5. One of the two. I thought that was a safe bet. Playing at home in front of the 12th man. They were covering for most of the game. Like, did the Titans just realize, did Derrick Henry realize this week, oh, wait, I'm Derrick motherfucking Henry? And did the Titans finally realize, oh, wait, we traded for Julio Jones, guys? I forgot we traded for we got Julio on this team.
Julio's over there.
What?
I was just like, hey, Julio's over there.
Julio's over there.
This is what the team was envisioned whenever they traded for Julio. AJ Brown being the secondary receiver, Julio being the stud that he is, and then Derrick Henry running for 182 yards and 3 touchdowns. Very weird that Ryan Tannehill had 347 yards and no touchdowns.
Mhm.
But this is what it was. Derrick Henry is the workhorse of the team, best running back in the NFL, and he's a stud. I mean,
He's
not
a
best
stud.
running back in the NFL, not
He's a
best overall. Sorry.
stud. He's
Yeah,
just a stud,
this is
baby.
exactly what you wanted when you trade for Julio. I mean, this is how they're going to win games. Is like their defense is good, but it's not great, and they're going to have to score to win games like this. And after week one, this was a huge statement when it come back because people were kind of question mark, oh, was the Julio Jones trade worth it? Blah blah
Mhm.
blah. But they bounced back and they did it, and that's a huge, huge win to win in Seattle.
Graphic went up a little late, Jake, because in Streamlabs, I totally thought I had the graphic up. I'm looking at it, and then I didn't see a fade transition, and I was like, "That's weird." And I was like, "Oh, I had the edit panel up, so it was up on the edit side, not up for us." So I'm showing you guys the graphics, so you guys can see it. But I wanted to ask you guys the question of, I hate asking these questions, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Is this is this a win where it's like, oh man, this is going to give the Titans more momentum, or is this a harder loss for the Seahawks? Like in your
Did they
mind,
win this
not
game or did the
no,
Seahawks lose it?
it's not exactly that, but it's more
It,
of
it,
like
it basically is though.
who's more affected by the, like, is this going to help kickstart the Titans to what we thought they could be, or with the Seahawks, is this going to be a game we look back later in the year when they're fighting in this tough division and we go, oh man, if they just would have had that Titans game that went to overtime, they probably would have made the playoffs.
That Seahawks, that reigns true. Every game in that division is super important. The Titans side, you go now. You have the Jags, now you have the Colts, the Jets, and the Jaguars.
Uh-huh.
Instead of starting 0-2, now you're 1-1, and you most likely win your next 3 games. I mean, after week one, now after their week one debacle, now they could come out of week 5 being 4-1. Like, it's big for both teams. The Seahawks, every game is important in that division because all 4 teams are so good, and the Titans now they have a chance to kind of kickstart their season after week one being such a bad performance.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one thing that I think of is like, okay,
Did they win
with
this game or did they lose it?
not even that, just like
I know.
for the Titans especially, like, is this going to be the thing that kind of sparks them into like, okay, we're going to be the team that we can be and what we all thought they would be. Next game, the Sunday night football game, Jake. This was one where the Ravens, what a freaking game for Sunday night football.
This is a primetime game, NFL. This is a primetime game. Best game of the week, no doubt. Amazing. Sorry.
I'll be completely honest though, too, and I'm gonna bring the graphic back for a second. All the afternoon games, by the way, so like the Cowboy Charger game, the Titan Seahawk game. I mean, even showing us Tom Brady, like that final block was good scheduling by the NFL because you had a close game in Seattle, you had a close game in LA. Really, the only blowout was Tom Brady,
Yeah.
but everyone just likes watching Tom. But like this was a Sunday night football game of like you could almost see these two teams have met in the playoffs before. They may be meeting in that playoffs this year yet again.
Yeah, Lamar didn't throw the ball well early. He recovered, and then he used what he's best at in his legs, and they won the game. I mean, after last week's horrendous defeat to the Raiders, they needed a game like this. One of my buddies is a Ravens fan. I was like, oh, I mean, you're going to start the season 0-2, but like, is it really that bad? Because you're like the Ravens are going to win games. They're too talented not to.
Yeah.
What a huge win this is for them. I think perspective is very important, and exactly like when I talked to somebody about the Saints, I'm like, yeah, the Packers and the Panthers week 1 and 2, you're going to go 1-1. That was everybody's expectation. The games are just flipped. Who cares? You're 1-1.
Jake, I'm gonna put something. Do you have the stream up or not?
No, okay. I don't.
Okay, pull the stream up real quick because I want you to see this. Let me know when you have it up. I'm gonna put up.
I have
yet
it up.
Again, everyone has saw this on Twitter, but with Harbaugh after the game.
Oh yeah.
This is just what I thought. Like everyone has it right of just like, let me get this wheelbarrow and let me just wheel my big cojones through all the teams to high five because the balls, the gall to ask your quarterback of, hey, you want to go for it? We're up. You want to go for it? Fuck it, we're going for it. Like, what other coach is going to trust his quarterback that much?
It's called humility. I mean, it genuinely is. It's a lot of time. Like obviously it's now not, but like when what we saw with Breeze and Peyton is that like
Mm-hmm.
they would literally like Breeze would just call plays sometimes. Like
Yeah.
it would just completely change. It's that trust that's built over time with a quarterback like that, and to show it is so stupid to me how conservative NFL teams play
Yeah.
so often. Like
Mike McCarthy.
once once everybody learns to play more aggressive, football will be a much better sport because like these
Learns
fourth
to
and
or
ones.
wants to?
What do you like?
Like, I don't think
Both.
people need to
I think
learn to
both.
play more aggressive. They just need
No,
to
but
like actually do it.
learn how playing aggressive is so beneficial. Is that
Yeah,
I'll say.
just don't be pussies. Like,
Fourth and
that's
two,
how I
fourth and
see it.
one.
Yeah.
Unless you're inside like your own 30, I'm going for that
Fucking
shit
go for it, baby.
every
Play
time.
like it's Madden. Who needs a punt team? Sorry, Pat McAfee.
Literally, like, no, literally. I just like, yeah, you have to play more aggressive. You have to trust your team. If you don't trust your team enough to get a fourth and one, that says more about your team than any play schedule or ranking can.
You know what I just thought of, by the way?
What?
Your team, your punter is probably at a loss right now
Why?
because he actually has to do something.
No, he's gone.
Oh,
It's a new punter this year.
like I was just thinking, I was like, oh man, like he never had to punt last year. He's probably holding the ball. Like, wait, how do I do this again?
Thomas Morstead was our
I don't know
punter.
what the fuck to do, man. I've been out of practice.
Thomas Morstead was our punter since 2008,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's on the. I think he just got signed by the Jets because we cut him in the offseason.
Okay.
Right, he would literally have pictures on his Instagram, be like hard day's work at the office, and he punted the ball 0 times. It was like it just consistently happened. Like, yeah, it's hilarious.
Became just a running joke. But the final game, we finally get to talk about it because we're doing it on Tuesday, not a Monday. Monday Night Football happened, and the Packers are back, baby. Aaron Rodgers is back. Aaron Jones is back.
Rodgers!
Aaron to Aaron to Aaron to Aaron. Give me that discount double check. All is right in the world, Jake. The Super Bowl train is headed on to Green Bay.
Yeah, isn't it just funny how people
The
need to
MVP
relax?
is back.
It is so funny how people just need to relax in an NFL season, and especially now we have one more game. Like,
Yeah.
it's something with like baseball season this year. Is that people were freaking out after every win, every loss because the 60-game season screwed us up so
Yep.
much. Perspective is everything, people. Like
Oh.
the Packers are 1-1. Great. Like it's like who cares? You're 1-1. Like the season is not going to be won or lost in the first 5 weeks. Post week 5, then you can probably start getting into those kind of conversations for teams that are 2-5 or not 2-5, like 2-3 or whatever you want to talk about. Even at 2-3 teams, their season isn't over.
Yeah.
So people need to relax. Rodgers is Rodgers. Aaron Jones looked great. Devontae Adams was great again. Not shocking. The defense though is a giant question mark with this team. The Packers don't look as unbeatable as they have in prior years. They look very beatable. I'll be interested to see going forward how that changes.
MVP.
Tyler?
No, Aaron Rodgers. I got $100 on it, baby. I'm rooting for.
Oh well.
I am. It's bad. I'm a Vikings fan that put $150 on Rodgers MVP and Packers Super Bowl. Like,
yeah,
Viking fans are gonna hear that and like take away my card. But
only thing I like to say about this game is that DeAndre Swift's a stud, and I hope he stays healthy.
I'm still a Viking fan at heart, man. I still bleed the purple. I want to win some money.
DeAndre Swift is a stud. Hope he stays healthy. That's all I have to say. And Jared Goff in his small hands.
Also, MCDC, I love him.
Oh,
loved him before, loved him again. We'll keep loving him.
Love him.
Want him to be my head coach. Sorry, Mike Zimmer.
Yeah,
like, I don't hate Mike Zimmer. I want MCDC to be my coach so I can love him even more. But any final thoughts, Jake, before we wrap this thing up?
It was an all right week of football. I don't think it was like
it takes us a little bit to get into everything.
No. I'm talking about like in terms of entertaining games and all that. There was definitely a few. When I looked at the actual schedule, I was kind of let down because none of the 1 o'clock slate was very boring.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that. From that on, it got more exciting. I'm ready for week 3.
The primetime games hit this week, though. I will say all 3 primetime games hit.
Yeah, what do we got for primetime? Let's look. We got Panthers Texans on Thursday night. Blah. And then Sunday have Packers Niners, that's a good game.
Good.
And Monday night we have Cowboys Eagles, that's a good game.
Could be
that
good
should be a
defensive divisional matchup.
There should be some Bears Browns should be interesting. Colts Titans will be very interesting. Chiefs Chargers, Saints Patriots, and
Ooh.
yeah.
I can't wait till week 4 though.
Yeah.
Thursday, completely write off. Jaguars, Bengals, like whatever. Not even a game.
Oh, Bucks Patriots. That's why.
Sunday, we get Bucks, Patriots
You want to
in
know something else?
Foxborough, baby.
You want something else?
Tom's return.
You know what else?
What?
Tom Brady is set to break the passing yards record
At Foxborough
this year, and he's on track to do it
at
week
Foxborough?
4 in
Oh
Foxborough.
my God.
He would pass Breeze in
What if Belichick wins though? What if Mac Jones overtime touchdown beats
Oh my
Tom
God.
Brady?
He would get a statue outside the stadium the next week if he beats Brady week 4.
And then like Monday night, Raiders Chargers.
That'd be a great game.
Raiders are good. Chargers, I mean, they can play up to teams. Oh man,
We'll
I
see.
can't wait. I love fucking football. I love it. But thank you guys for checking out this week, giving us your thoughts down below in that comment section. Make sure to hit that sub button and that notification bell to stay in tuned to MVP Sports. Make sure to check out patreon.com/MVPvids or become a channel member today. And last but not least, join the Discord. It is the greatest community in the universe. You can join it today for free down below in the description. That is going to do it for us today. An hour and change talking some football with you. Jake and I will be back next week. Usually on Mondays. Sometimes we, though, push it to Tuesdays when Jake goes, hey, I got to put... I don't even remember the reason why you said, hey, can we do it tomorrow?
I didn't have a voice yesterday, and it's starting to fade already. So, I mean,
wedding you were at.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we will be back next week talking more football. Thank you guys for being as great as you always are. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, I finally heard it.
Yeah, there you go.